Howdy y'all, Shabbat Shalom. This is Big Country Survival. And we're going to be doing another little Bible study. We're going to be going into Job after I get coffee. Alright. So yeah, we are going to be going in through the book of Job, and we're going to do this in a series until I'm told otherwise, because I've been told to do this, and I'm going to be doing this. So now I am just brother, alright? Brother S, brother country, I don't care. There's already a brother T, so I'll just call me brother S or brother country, I don't care. Or you know what? I don't care what you call me. But I am not pastor anything. Alright, that's the point I want to iterate. I am not pastor anything. This is just me, one guy out there, and he is going through the word with you. Alright, so I'm going to be utilizing my this is the Scofield Study Bible. It's the Scofield Study System with red letter concordance. And it has a lot of like different information, side notes, and things like that. And I have not been through Job in a while. But given Proverbs 6, which Psalm 6, sorry, yeah. We were in Proverbs as well yesterday, but given Psalm 6, we will, alright. The basic theme, and this is the problem of suffering. Job is a very, very suffering book. It is considered a poetic writing, I believe. Yeah, it is. The books classed as poetical are Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, the Song of Solomon, and also Lamentations. Poetical passages are found still elsewhere in the Old Testament. For example, Jude 5. Because these books portray the experiences of the people of God. Their range is as wide as that of life itself. In them, inspiration clothes human experience with a universal quality that has brought comfort, strength, and guidance to the countless believers down through the ages. I'm not going to read all of this stuff, but there's a lot of like extra notes and stuff here in this. Job is the first of the wisdom books in the Old Testament canon, the others being Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. Wisdom literature, of which the Epistle of James in the New Testament is an example, deals with the broad realm of human experience and is set forth in short, pithy sayings. Proverbs examples. Essays, monologues, and as in Job, in drama. The book does not name its author. Ezekiel and Jasher also refer to Job as a historical person, that he may have lived in the patriarchal period as inferred from the Great Age. Various geographical references in the book, and the absence of mention of the law and the tabernacle or temple. The presence in this book of lofty biblical concepts of man, of God, man, Satan, righteousness, redemption, and resurrection may show in view of its probable early date. Alright, so now that I've gone through all of that, we're going to see how far we can get into Job today. Job's character. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and shunned evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she-asses, and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. Alright, so this is Job, man. He's a wealthy dude. Alright, he's got all these animals, he's got this wonderful family, and everybody just goes out and eats and parties all day. Basically, it's just life is good for Job and his family, right? Living in this place called Uz, which I have a note here that says the name Uz is connected with Edom in Lamentations 4:21. The residence of Eliphaz was Teman, generally agreed as the place of that name in Edom. Uz was the object of raids from Chaldea and Sabia. So it's believed that it was around eastern Edom and northern Arabia. Alright, that's the basis here. Alright, so now we're getting on to 5, and that's Job's piety. And it was when the days of their feasting were finished that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned, and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continually. Alright, so he is a father, and he's like, man, I'm worried about my kids, so I'm going to offer up these offerings. And, just in case my kids have sinned, my children have sinned, maybe they sinned, and so I'm just going to offer an offering up for each of them to cover this sin. And it, he just seems like, he's, the way it sets him up, he's a wealthy man, and he's a good follower of Yah, and very, very loving father. Alright, Job accused by Satan in heaven. Now, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, From where comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one who feareth God and shunneth evil? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear God for nothing? Hast not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. Alright, so Satan's out there, and he's, comes up and he's speaking with God. Alright, and he's speaking with God, and it's like he's been all over the place, up and down this world, because, Satan has dominion on this world right now. He's, God allows him the dominion over this world until the final battle. And God's like, hey, you checked out my servant Job. And of course, guys, I'm paraphrasing all this, but have you seen this guy? I mean, look at how righteous he is. Look at how good he is. I mean, God's bragging on him. I mean, saying, look at this servant of mine. And Satan says, well, yeah, I mean, you've given him everything. Just throw a few hard times on him, and he's going to crumble. And so now God says, Satan says, well, let me test him. Let me commit affliction or put affliction on him or something along those lines. And he's going to crumble, curse you and die. And God says, all right, just don't hurt him. All right, just don't touch him. Personally, as physical. So here we go. Satan's first assault. Job's wealth and sons taken. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job, and said, the oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabaeans fell upon them, and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. And the Sabaeans fell upon them, and took them away. Wait. Oh, sorry. Alright, when he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said that the fire of God is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away, yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Then Job arose, and tore his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground, and worshipped, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this Job sinned not, nor charged God with any folly. Now that's some kind of faith right there. And we're going to stop at chapter 1 today. And that is chapter 1. But we're going to stop there for today. And, the kind of faith it would take is incredible. I mean, here's this guy, and he's, maybe sitting there with his wife. I don't know. He's just, he's out there relaxing, and now it's like, hey, these guys, they come and they took off all of this livestock. Hey, and then another one came and said, hey, this guy, the fire just came and consumed this livestock, and this livestock got stolen. You got another guy coming, and it's like, I just escaped with my life. And then on top of that, your entire legacy, your children, your entire legacy is now dead. The house collapsed in on them, and they're all gone. It's like, if it was just possessions, you could say, well, at least my family is safe. But no, his children, his legacy is gone. And it doesn't say how old Job is in this point, but I'm going to assume he's pretty well to do. So he's had some time to accumulate some wealth. I'm going to assume he's obviously old enough to have 6 children that are of the age to go have their own houses. So, he's probably a pretty well aged man. So his legacy's gone now. And for him to You know, for him to just say, well, I came into this world naked, and I'll go the same way, and that's where that comes from. The Lord given, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. That takes some faith right there, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll leave it there with that. That we should all strive to have that kind of faith. Now we're going to get into in depth in as we go along into Job, and there are some things, and he hits some pretty low points. But to leave it there, that that takes some kind of faith. It's like the hymn, "It Is Well With My Soul." The guy who wrote that, and I can't remember his name, I should have looked that up, but he had lost everything, his family included, in the ship that was transporting them across the Atlantic went down, and they were all dead, all drowned, and so that kind of faith, to praise God even after all of this has been taken from you, is something to strive for, I think. So anyway, we're going to leave it there for today, and we'll pick back up next week. Till next time, God bless.